Hi everyone, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to talk about Ubuntu 22.04, a fairly new release from last April that has many new features. Let's see those features and also the most relevant package upgrades. But before we start, let me remind you to subscribe to the channel. It helps YouTube understand that you like the content and also helps growing the channel. Press the like button and the bell if you want to receive notifications about all the videos I'll be publishing. Now, let's do it. Let's talk about Ubuntu 22.04 new features. First, Gnome 42. This jammy jellyfish Ubuntu version now comes with Gnome 42. This provides a range of benefits, from a more streamlined user interface with compact on-screen display notifications, horizontal workspace transitions, as well as improved multi-monitor support. An awesome new screenshot tool is also available. Gnome 42 allows users to choose between performance and power consumption from the settings screen. Customization options. Ubuntu's Yarrow theme shows a continuous refinement process, and Jammy Jellyfish features a new accent color picker that allows us to customize our desktop even further. You can enjoy setting different wallpapers for dark and light themes. On performance and power improvements, desktop performance was upgraded for this release thanks to Gnome triple buffering. Intel and Raspberry Pi graphic drivers will now see up to double frame rate when using the desktop, and expect to see significant improvements when using AMD and NVIDIA cards as well. By enabling Z-swap by default and some additional tweaks to the compression algorithm, Ubuntu team managed to deliver a better desktop experience for the low-end Raspberry Pi 4 with 2GB RAM model. This also provides a performance boost for the 4GB and the 8GB versions as well. The expanded Active Directory integration on Ubuntu desktop also made some upgrades when it comes to enterprise users. Active Directory integration was introduced in Ubuntu 20.04 with policy-based administration using Microsoft Active Directory group policy and the ability for users to authenticate using SSSD. 22.04 brings Active Directory integration to the next level with full installer integration and a client called ADSys that enables full group policy support, privilege escalation, and remote script execution. The WSL was upgraded on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS as well, and is available for the Windows subsystem for Linux. So you can download it directly from Microsoft Store, and users of the existing Ubuntu WSL app will be prompted to upgrade once 22.04.1 is available. Ubuntu WSL gives us a full Ubuntu environment deeply integrated with Windows for Linux application development and execution, and optimized for cloud, web, data, science, IoT, and more. In addition to the new kernel and upgraded toolchains, Ubuntu WSL now features a new out-of-the-box setup experience that grabs your Windows user details for a fast and smoother setup. And Wayland is default again, so in Ubuntu 22.04, Ubuntu switches again to the Wayland display server by default. However, it will be limited to systems without NVIDIA graphic cards because at the time of release, due to some known issues, it was not put together for these GPUs. Now, talking about Gnome 42, we have a more streamlined user interface. We will see it further. A compact on-screen display notification system that helps our day-to-day notification process, an horizontal workspace transition scheme, improved multi-monitor support that can give you a better experience while using more monitors on your setup, and a new screenshot tool that brings this kind of feature to the next level. Customization options, Yarrow theme refinement with new accent color picker, new great wallpapers, and some of them come from a previous competition that took place. A new dock mode, very interesting feature that can change the way we use the desktop environment, and multitasking setting for further performance. Position of desktop icons, so this is like some trick to get a better experience with the desktop environment. And the enable and disable of animations, if you can use, because you have a good CPU, nice. If you have an older computer, you might want to disable animations in order to grab some extra performance. Now, relevant package versions that are included with Ubuntu 22.04. First, Kernel 5.15. I think would be relevant to talk about some of the features. For example, there is a new NTFS driver with NTFS 3. There's also a new SMB file server, KSMD, to complement Samba by providing lightweight kernel space model server-side with SMB3 protocol. Fresh enhancements to Extended 4 file system and Intel Alder Lake support. We have also a new OpenSSL3 version, Ruby 3.0, Python 3.10, PHP 8.1, Golang 1.18, and GCC 11 to talk about the programming space inside Ubuntu. And finally, Grub 2.06 that gives us some new improvements in the bootloader side. Now let's see Ubuntu 22.04 installation process to see if something new changed. As you can see, the main windows remain briefly the same. I have created my own account, picked up the passwords, and proceed with the installation process, copy the files, and when the process was finished, I rebooted the machine for the first time, trying to see if, for example, the login menu also changed, but nothing seems to be very different from what we have been used to in 20.04. Now let's log in and see overall desktop environment. Roughly looks also the same, but of course if we browse around we will start to see those differences that I talked about previously. Let me change the resolution so we have more comfort. Now I will switch to dark mode. As you can see, we have some more options regarding coloring, and if you dig in around the settings you will find many new options. Now let me just show you how to switch from the panel mode to a dock mode. Switch it to the bottom so we can have this feeling of a dock. For example, like we are used to in Windows 11 and Mac OS. Just to finish, let me show you neofetch, where you can see that I really have Ubuntu 22.04, Kernel 5.15, and as you can see, Gnome 42.1 installed. While I use this version, my thoughts were that it keeps being very stable, and let's hope that it also keeps to be very secure. Never forget to update your Ubuntu release so you can have the latest versions of every packages. I hope you have enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel, press like button if you enjoyed this video, and ring the bell in order to get notifications about all the videos I will be publishing. Bye bye for now. Thanks everybody. See you on my next video.